Hello and welcome to my tutorial on how to make an origami dragon. For this we're going to need a square piece of paper, maybe cut from an A3 if you're beginning. And what we're going to do is we're basically going to start off with a variation on the bird base. So we're just going to do a preliminary base, make sure everything's nice and square. This is an intermediate figure, so I'm going to assume that you have some intermediate skills and some intermediate knowledge. So we're just going to do a preliminary base, just like we'd do a bird base. This figure is originally by a guy called Joe Nagashima, who does some wonderful origami figures, and I will put links to his figures. But this is my variation of it, so I've actually done some significant changes to his work. So what we're going to do, just like the bird base on the first side, we're going to put the folds in, and then we're going to lift that flap up exactly like you do on a bird base. So this is no different than what you already know. And you've already probably done it 10 times better than myself, but hey, who cares. So I'll also put Joe Nakashima's Patreon account up there so you can support him instead of me. So we're just going to do like a bird base. This bit up here, sticking up here, this is going to be the tail of the dragon. These are actually going to be the front legs, believe it or not. Okay, we're going to just turn the bird base over, or the base over. A bit of variation. I crease it to the center line, put a fold in, uncrease it. Same with the other side. I crease to the center line, unfold it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift this flap up, squash fold it. So we're just going to squash fold that down and crease the lines. Now just like we did with the bird base before, we're going to fold up to there, just make sure the creases are in. Then we're going to lift this flap up, fold along those crease lines till we get this bit sticking up here towards this, till we get this bit here. If I'm going way too fast for you, feel free to slow this video down to 1.75 or even half, or replay. Okay. So we'll do that on the other side so you can see, and then if you have to you can rewind. And oops, forgot. Fold that flap down. That's important because that's going to be the front leg. Okay, so we're going to fold up the other side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to squash fold. Make sure that goes down. So this line, straight down that centre line. We're going to crease just to make sure this folds in the right places. So we're just going to fold up, unfold those. We're going to lift that flap up in the centre up on both sides. And almost to a point if we can. Again, remember this bit here, this is the front leg. We're just going to fold that down, and now I'm going to fold that out, and now I'm just going to give everything a nice big heavy crease. Do both sides, just make sure the creases hold. Okay, so this bit here, this bit here is going to be the head. Believe it or not, these are going to be the wings. So we're going to fold this down. Just to hold it there. We're going to draw a line from this point across to that point. I'm going to fold that tip onto this imaginary line. Just make sure that sticks in. Now, from this point here, we've just folded, I'm going to fine up, put a line up to that point there. I'm going to fold this. This fines up the back leg dramatically. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to fold where it crosses there. I'm going to go from that point to there, sort of fining up the leg. And I just sort of, when I'm done, sort of put that up and then just sort of squish that over to one side. No subtlety here. Nobody's ever going to see that bit anyway. Okay, so now comes the head. Let's start on the head. So this bit here is going to be the head. This is a bit of artistic license. If you want it to look friendly, you'll take this tip, you put it down there, they'll make a bigger head, make the little dragon look friendlier. If you want to make it look meaner, you might give it a smaller head and fold it to about where that join is. Your choice. This is part of your artistic license. I'm going to give it a smaller head. Actually, let's give it a bigger head so you can see what, later on, you can see what I'm doing with the head. But the smaller the head, the bigger and the meaner the dragon looks. Okay, so I unfold this, and now we're going to fold this, so this edge is on that line. So, unfold, do the same on the other side. I'm going to fold, so this edge meets that line, that crease line that you just put in. Unfold. Now I'm going to fold, pinch that up like an ear, pinch that up, and then lay it over so it comes over like that. Then on that crease line earlier, I'm going to fold it away from me and under, like that. So we've got this little tab here, just sort of stick that through the gap, stick that between the, and fold it flat. So if we've pushed it through, it should be sticking out on that side, a bit like a rhino horn. That is the head. Okay, at this point we're just going to, well, we've got a couple of choices. We'll just fold it flat at the moment, so we'll just fold it in half along the centre crease. Now I'm going to put very strong folds on now. Okay, in case you're interested, yeah, this is an oval shaped object which helps with the creasing. Now we're going to start working on the wings. So this bit here, this is a wing. I'm going to reach through between the layers and I'm going to fold this edge along that crease. So I'm going to fold it up along that crease. And when I do this, when I pull this up, you know, so this section opens out, I'll push in there and fold down. So this becomes the front leg. That was that fold I was talking about earlier. Heavily. Let's do that on the other side. Let's do this as a pair. Sometimes you can do this as a sequence. Again, I'm going to take this edge, I'm going to fold it up that crease there. So come up here, I fold it up. This opens out. This is fine. I'm going to push that in, that down. The front leg. Symmetry is always nice when you do this, but you can make sure the wings are nice and even. tail's not nice and even. That's one thing. Okay, so turning back over, there is actually a crease line right from that point there to about there. You can see it just there. I'm going to reach inside. I'm going to reach inside the wing. I'm going to fold it down. I'm going to fold this edge down here. And I'm going to fold this along here. So what will actually happen is that wing will flatten out. Isn't that cute? Let's do the same on the other side. So I'm going to reach inside the wing. I'm going to fold along that crease. Trying to get this even. Okay, one of the big differences between my dragon and Joe Nakashima's, he does wonderful dragons. He's got several to. I tend to simplify a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold. There's no crease there yet. We're going to fold it up and out so that this side becomes flat. We'll do the same on the other side. Fold up. Let's actually do it too. Out. Hopefully you can start seeing the form. Here's the head, there's the wings, there's back legs, there's the tail. Okay, let's actually start on the tail, and then we'll put on, I'm going to open it out a bit, flat. You can do this earlier if you want. I'm going to fold this flat up, and see this join here. I'm going to fold it back like that, to roughly that point. Again, this is artistic. If you take it a little bit further down, you make the tail fatter. But let's put it about there. So I'm going to fold it up, down, so it meets that point there, at that joint. Let's put that wing back. And that's going to be, these are going to be my back legs. Now, I'm going to, what I'll do here, let's pop it up some. I will put a pair of creases in, working creases. I will fold this edge to here, crease it up an inch, no more than an inch. Same on the other side. Fold it this edge to that edge. The reason for doing that is now when I undo the folds, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in, and you'll notice that this opens up onto that fold. That doesn't have to be too precise. This is your, and now I'm going to fold down here. And this, now this will thin out the tail. We do the same on the other side. I grab this edge, fold it towards the centre so it's roughly symmetrical. This edge does its thing. A bit of creasing because I can. So now these are the back legs. This is defined tail. I will close this back up for the moment. And you see, back legs. Now what we're going to do, let's make the head. Now, it's a little hard to see here, but what we're going to do is some layers of, if I open this out gently, I have to pull this up a bit, I will release this layer of paper here. And I can then refold that. So this is probably the hardest bit to explain, no doubt. So there's a trapped layer. When it's like this earlier, there's a layer of trapped under there. We want to let that layer out. This is going to be the head. So what we do is we're going to fold this edge. There's a piece of paper here. We're going to fold this edge along that piece of paper. and then we're going to unfold it. Now I tend to push this down, this flap out of the way. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to crease again this edge, I'm going to fold down to there, just make sure there's a crease there. Open it up. I'm going to now go and fold this bit of paper here along that edge, both sides. And then I'm going to grab this tip and fold that up so this crease here runs along the top surface. Isn't that pretty? Crease. Again there. Whew. Now there's a fold here from that corner there to the top. What we do is if I unfold that, this, if I've done this right, we'll pull that up. So now it looks like we've got that type of feel. We'll do it on the other side. If I pull this ear back, pulls that bit up, now I'm going to just tuck the nose in. Again, this is artistic. I can't give you an exact measurement. You're going to have to do this by eye. But I'm going to fold about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch in, 6mm, 7mm, so I get a nice square nose, a square-ended nose. Now comes another tricky bit, because again it's instinct. I'm going to grab this ear, I'm going to pull it up, and as I do that, it's going to lift this edge up. This makes the dragon look down. So I fold it along that edge. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to fold it there. And then I'm going to squish, physically mush the head around until that dragon looks down. No elegant folds or anything, you just mush it. Now we're going to fine that neck. Well, I'm going to thin that neck down so that this leg becomes important. So I open it up a little bit. I push this flap, which we pushed down earlier, I push it back. It's not going to go as far this time. What we're going to do is we're going to do a crease from that joint there where the neck hits. I'm going to do that until that bit there. You can fine it better, thinner than that, but take my word for it, it doesn't look any good. Okay, this is the artist speaking again. Okay, so we go to this bit here, we do a line up to that joint there on the head. And now that will fine the head. Again, we're going to do that on the other side. We escape. We open the dragon figure up. We go from where it joins, the head joins the neck, to the back leg. As I said, you can do it finer, but then you don't get a stomach on your dragon. Fold up. Heavy creases. Heavy creases. Okay, so we're just about done. We're getting close to the end now. We want to give it some legs, and this is actually moderately tricky. But what we're going to do with the legs, I open out the front legs, so I reach in from behind. This is a fairly standard technique, so hopefully if you're into the media you know it. We push it back a little bit, like so. So we push that onto the line, and then opening it out again, we grab the tip and push it forward. And we get a foot. Let's do that on the other side. So I reach between the two legs, trying to make it as symmetrical as possible. I push that tip inside the leg, so it sort of runs up in there. So you got that. Then reaching between there, I grab the tip and I pull the tip around to where, whoops. Yeah, this is a mush origami technique. Okay, and there we go. We got our 2 front legs. Cool. Now give it some back legs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reach in through the front and we're going to grab a whole series of flaps and we're going to reach in that gap there. Just going to do a reverse fold through there. So it comes down. So I usually do the reverse fold up to where it meets the tail. Boom, boom. The same thing on the other side. I'm going to reach through and just reverse fold that. Usually at this point I will play around. I'll put it on the ground. I'll make sure that it sits flat, otherwise I will change those reverse folds. Okay, so almost looking dragon-like. Except I've got to get that tail down. So what I do now with the tail, I'm just going to reverse that in. So again, this is a bit of art. You have to choose where you want it to go. So I make it look a bit like a stinger. And then I reverse fold it back and I just have to play around with this until I get what I want. There's no subtlety here. There's no precise measurements. You've done so many folds. Due to Heisenberg chaos theory, it's not going to work. But what I do is I arrange that tail so you can see a clear line from the head down there through the belly and out the back. And I also try and make sure there's enough tail coming up here that it tries to come out of that joint there. So that way it looks more like an organic dragon. Then if you want to do the wings are optional. I mean, this looks cool by itself, but you'll notice how if I fold the wing down you get this humpback ridge. I will fold to that ridge. Boom, and then I will fold along the naturally occurring crease in that wing. And that will give me my wing spread. I'll do it on the other side. So fold to the crease, to that hump. Back, and then I fold 2 down the naturally occurring crease. Spread my dragon's wings a bit. If necessary, if the head hits the ground, you can pull the neck up if you know what you're doing. Just using standard origami techniques. And that is my variation on the Joe Nakashima dragon. Now if you want this to stand, if you, like a lot of origami figures, if you make this, after a few days, or even a day, this will spread out and get fur like that. So what you can do is if you want this to last permanently, or a very long time, lift up the front leg and just put a staple right there underneath the front leg so it's not even visible. If you do that, then that will stay tight, taut, terrific for a very long time.